Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to Eating Peace this week. Somebody has asked, or frequently, really, this has come so many times, how do I stop an overwhelming craving, a super huge urge to eat? There I am alone in my kitchen, where you are with me right now, and I'm just filled with the desire to consume, even though I promised in the morning I wouldn't do it. Now here I am in the evening next to the refrigerator, standing right in front of it, perhaps, just eating right out of it without sitting down. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So this question, how do I stop an overwhelming craving? How do I stop an overwhelming feeling? Let's say the feeling is of loneliness, sadness, difficulty, problems, sort of thoughts in the mind of reviewing some kind of incident or situation. Let's say that you are having great concern and worry, something that even wakes you up in the middle of the night. Notice that the mind begins to have thoughts about that very situation. And it's I need to stop this. I need to know how to stop it. I need to know what's wrong. I need to sort this out. Those are more thoughts about the situation. Those are more additional thoughts about what is actually happening, that I need to do something. Imagine questioning that thought. Imagine actually not having an inherent belief in the thought, I am the one who needs to do something here. And all that gets involved in that, where everything travels and what goes on when we're believing I need to do something. What if even just for a split second, you don't need much time, you allowed all that energy to be rising and being there, that we're calling an overwhelming feeling, incredible desire to eat. What if you simply allowed that to live and exist without trying to stop it? I have to stop it is another thought. That's another thought. And I know that it comes out of incredible sorrow and watching all the repeated incidents of whatever we're calling like compulsive behavior here. We usually refer to that as something that repeats itself, that I can remember I did it before. So I'm, aware it's happened before, it's happening again, a million times it's happened, it's probably going to keep happening into the future, says the mind. And to see this is a new moment, a new experience. Sure, the mind is going back to what it, in a very simplistic way, knows to do. This is what you do with that evening moment, says the mind. This is what you do with it. You hold it, and fight it, or decide to collapse against it and let it take over. And there's something that's letting it take over or not take over. And there's all that's going on here. And I'm in a huge battle within. Just to watch it. You can even watch it from before it's ever happening. Just look back and review in a way, since the mind is so good at that. And question that you actually need to stop it. You need to just go with it. It's so uncomfortable that you can't stand it. That is who you are in that moment. Is it true? What if you didn't label it craving? Emotion. What if it's just simply energy and movement that some part of you is observing? A larger part of you could say, knows that's not who you are. I know it feels like temporary insanity. I get it. Like you really need to be doing, but just if you imagine stopping a moment and just being with it and not being against it. This thing called a feeling, a really strong feeling, an incredible worry, a racing mind that's showing you what's going to happen in the future and how things are going to go with that person, in that situation. It's really a depth of allowing things to be the way they are. Can I allow this feeling that comes up to be as it is? And notice that it comes up like a geyser in Yellowstone National Park, and then it's got its life, and then it fades back down again. It will stop. And you may have nothing to do with it. In fact, I'd say you don't. This is not about you. Imagine that. What if this isn't about me and my personal experience, and like an assignment? Because there's so much guilt and shame that gets mixed up in having strong feelings. What if it's just a feeling rising and falling, being human, just being with that, just let it be there, and then turn this way just a little bit and let it rise, just let it be there. Don't have to fight it, don't have to collapse and let it win. So this question, how do I stop it? Strangely, no answer, but I don't need to know how. What if you don't need to know how? I don't need to know how to stop it, and it will be okay. I know that it will come in and say, if I don't know how, I'll never stop. This will be terrible since I don't know how. Oh my God, this is terrible that I don't know how. Surely knowing how is out there somewhere. Let me keep hunting for finding out how to stop an overwhelming craving, a feeling that's huge. Who would you be without the story? Who would you be without the story? I have to know how. Who would you be without that very dreadful story when you don't know how? What if you don't know how and that's a good thing? What if it's okay for you not to know how? What if not knowing how is the way of it? You can stop the fight, stop the hunting to figure out how. You might even find a slowness that happens in just watching a whole evening, typical time for people to get disturbed about food and eating and compulsive behavior. If there isn't any rules to follow and fear coming up and anxiety about whether you're doing it right or wrong, can you relax with the experience? Just sit on your couch, just sit in a chair and watch it like you're watching a movie. Just let it rise up. Is it possible to do nothing? Do nothing in that instance. How do I stop it? I don't. It does not mean, as the mind, as I mentioned a moment ago, we all have this kind of thought that comes through in the mind. If I don't know how, then I'll never stop. Could it be that the very belief in I have to find out how, I have to know how to stop this big feeling, being so against the feeling, lots of feelings that we're against. I mean, I used to notice that. Anger, worry, fear, cravings, sometimes sadness. So who would you be without the story? I need to be against feelings. I need to get myself together when it comes to feelings. I need to control my feelings. Who would you be without that? Probably more yourself than you actually have been. With the thought, I would panic with a feeling appearing, with a craving. Oh my God, here we go. Oh my God, quick, do something, just to relax with the experience of all the flow, all that weather, stormy patterns and wildness and chaos that it seems like a feeling is, and just being with it. You are not the one who created the feeling, who put the feeling there, who put the thought, who made it exist. You are not that one. Let's consider it. All right, let me know how it goes. Lots of love.